All right, UPSC Prelims Champions. It's time for another deep dive. Are you ready? We're going to tackle the daily news that might just be the key to acing those prelims. Today we've got a packed episode, everything from, well, the nitty-gritty of local governance all the way to space. Even some really cool findings about traditional food, just to spice things up a bit.
Yeah, that's right. We're covering a lot, but we're going to make sure you see how it all connects. Help you grab those golden nuggets of info that the UPSC examiners just love.
So grab your notebooks, get ready to think, and let's jump in. First stop, rural India and the National Panchayat Awards.
Oh, you mean those awards the president gives out at Vijay Pawan?
Yeah, exactly.
Those awards are not just about, a fancy ceremony. They're a fantastic way to, really test your grip on polity and governance. Think about it. The Ministry of Panchayati Raj, they've aligned these awards with, get this, 9 themes straight from the Sustainable Development Goals.
Whoa. So we're talking local self-governance, decentralization, and the SDGs all in one package.
You got it.
Okay, so it's bigger than just knowing what panchayats do, right? It's about seeing how they fit into the whole development scene.
Absolutely. And don't forget, there are some pretty unique award categories this year, like the Gram Urja Swaraj Vishesh Panchayat Puraskar, and then there's the Carbon Neutral Vishesh Panchayat Puraskar.
Wow, those are some mouthful names. But I guess they're hinting at the big focus on renewable energy, right? And sustainability, right there at the grassroots.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, those are definitely buzzwords to remember. But hey, when we talk panchayats, we can't leave out PISA, right?
Good one. The Panchayat's Extension to Scheduled Areas Act.
Yeah, PISA.
PISA, that's super important. It empowers, the tribal communities in those fifth schedule areas. I bet you could easily see a prelims question linking PISA with local governance, tribal affairs, even constitutional stuff.
Mental note made.
Yeah.
Got to brush up on PISA. All right, how about we take a break from, earthly matters. Let's head to a galaxy far, far away.
I like the sound of that. Where are we going?
We're checking out the GG Tau A system. It's a triple star system, and it's giving scientists a whole new perspective on how planets actually form.
Oh, GG Tau A, fascinating system. It's super young, like only 1 to 5 million years old, which is young for, space stuff. And it has this massive disk of gas and dust swirling around those 3 stars. That's the stuff planets are made of, right? But seeing it in a triple star system like this, it really challenges our theories about, the whole planet formation process.
Wait, so most of what we know about planets forming, it's been based on single star systems.
Pretty much, yeah. But turns out that systems with multiple stars, like GG Tau A, they're actually more common. So this discovery, it's kind of forcing us to rethink, everything, about planetary systems and how they evolve.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. So for prelims, it's not enough to just memorize planets and stars, right?
Yeah.
We need to understand how they form and how that process can change depending on where they are.
Absolutely. The UPSC loves to see that you get the concepts, not just memorizing.
Right.
Now, speaking of things that evolve, let's come back down to Earth. There's this initiative that's all about empowering women financially. Have you heard about it?
You mean the Bima Sakhi Yojana, the one the Prime Minister just launched?
That's the one. This scheme, it's all about boosting financial inclusion and also, financial literacy among women. So they're targeting women aged 18 to 70 with a Class 10 qualification, and they're providing training and even offering stipends so these women can become LIC agents or, Bima Sakhis, as the scheme calls them.
Okay, so they're creating a network of women who know about insurance and can spread that knowledge, right, in their communities. That's a clever way to tackle financial inclusion and women's empowerment at the same time.
You got it. And this multi-pronged approach, that's something the UPSC loves to ask about. Think about the prelims questions they could ask, right? They could ask about the features of the scheme, who it's for, its link to financial inclusion, or even how it connects to those bigger government initiatives for women.
All right, Bima Sakhi Yojana. That's going straight on my study list.
Now let's lighten things up a bit. How about a little wildlife story? I heard there was a rare bird sighting at Sultanpur National Park.
Oh, you mean the marble duck? It's a pretty big deal. They haven't seen it at Sultanpur for over 30 years.
Whoa, really? But it's just a duck, right? What's all the excitement about?
Well, the marble duck, it's classified as near threatened on the IUCN Red List. And it reappearing after so long, it might mean changes in their migration patterns, or even, how suitable the habitat is, or even how well conservation efforts are working.
Ah, I see. So it's not just about the duck itself. It's about what its presence tells us about the whole ecosystem. And that's definitely important for the environmental science part of prelims.
Exactly. Remember, the UPSC loves to see if you can connect those seemingly isolated events to the bigger picture. Speaking of which, want to take another trip into space?
Always up for a cosmic adventure. What's the latest discovery? This time, it's the Subaru Telescope making headlines. It just captured these stunning images of a pair of interacting galaxies. You should check out the pictures online. Seriously, they're amazing.
Subaru Telescope, isn't that the one in Hawaii?
Yeah, it's this massive 8.2-meter optical infrared telescope run by Japan. It's known for its cutting-edge tech. And of course, those super detailed images of really distant objects in space. But these images of interacting galaxies, they're not just pretty pictures. They actually give us valuable data,
Yeah.
for understanding how galaxies evolve and the forces at play out there in the universe.
Okay, so for prelims, we need to know about different types of telescopes, what they can do, and the research they're used for. And this Subaru Telescope thing is a good reminder that international collaborations, they play a big role in all these scientific advancements.
You got it. Right on the money. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about a program that's, well, it's kind of changed its name, but it's still super important for social welfare in India. Remember that midday meal scheme?
Oh, yeah, the one that makes sure school kids get a good meal.
Yeah.
I bet it's not called that anymore.
You're right. They call it the Pradhan, Mantri, Poshan, Shakti, Nirman scheme now.
Whoa.
Or PMPOHAN, for short.
Catchy.
But the goal is the same. Making sure those kids get the nutrition they need to be healthy, attend school, focus, all that.
So, name change noted. But why should we care for prelims, besides just knowing the new name?
Well, the UPSC could throw a curveball, right? They could ask about the history, how it's changed over time, or even why they changed the name. And there's something else you should know.
Oh, what's that?
The Ministry of Education just bumped up the material cost for the scheme, like a whole 13.70%.
Wow, that's a big increase. So they're putting more money into those meals, huh?
Exactly. It makes sense with the whole Poshan thing, right?
Yeah.
Focus on nutrition. I could totally see that as a prelims question.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, from school lunches to something a bit more high-tech, India's defense, Did you hear about them getting that Voronezh Radar system from Russia?
Big news, right?
Yeah, a huge deal. But I gotta admit, I'm not really clear on what it all means. Why is this radar system so special?
Here's the cool part. It's a, get this, ballistic missile attack early warning system.
Whoa.
And its range, 8,000 kilometers. That's massive.
8,000 kilometers. That's like halfway across the world.
And it uses the super advanced tech phased array technology, to track potential threats.
Sounds like something out of a spy movie.
Kinda, yeah. But this is real deal geopolitics, and defense strategy. What you need to understand for prelims is what this means for India. Stronger defense, closer ties with Russia, could even shake things up, with the power dynamics in the region.
Okay, so it's bigger than just knowing the name. Right?
Yeah.
It's about India's place on the, the global security chessboard. Mental note. Got to brush up on defense terms, these partnerships, maybe even some international relations stuff.
Got it. Now, quick detour into constitutional law. Might sound boring, but trust me, it's vital for prelims. Have you been keeping up with Article 67B of the Indian Constitution?
Article 67B. Not ringing a bell. What's that about?
Well, it's about how to remove the Vice President of India from office. And remember, the Vice President, they're also the chairman of the Rajya Sabha.
Oh, right. Okay, now I see why it matters.
Yeah.
But why is it in the news now? Did something happen?
The opposition parties, they said they're going to try and use Article 67B to remove the current chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Not something you see every day, and it's causing a bit of a stir.
So they're basically trying to remove the vice president. That's a bold move.
Right.
Why would they do that? And what are the chances of it actually happening?
Good questions. And to answer them, you got to understand Article 67B. You need a resolution in the Rajya Sabha, and then the Lok Sabha has to agree. It's complicated, Lots of rules. It's a long shot for the opposition, but it shows how our system keeps things balanced. And it shows why knowing about those different parts of the Constitution, their roles, their powers, it's all important.
Wow, this is like a real-life political drama. I'm definitely going to look into Article 67B and the whole vice president removal thing. Who knows? Maybe it'll be on the prelims.
You never know. The UPSC loves those current events, especially when the Constitution's involved. Now, how about we take a break from all this serious stuff? Let's explore something a bit more tasty.
Ooh, sounds good. Especially if it's something healthy.
Oh, that's like that.
Okay, get this. Researchers found that this traditional fermented bamboo shoot from Tripura They call it Melye-amiley. It might actually help fight obesity.
Bamboo shoots fighting obesity.
I
Seriously.
know, right? But there's this study just came out in the Food Frontiers Journal. They found that extracts from this Melye-amiley, they can actually reduce how much fat builds up, and it might even help your body burn fat better. Still early research, but pretty exciting stuff.
So this bamboo shoe could be a real game changer, huh? It's definitely something to keep an eye on. And for our prelims folks out there, it shows how important traditional knowledge is and how it can be used in modern science. Remember, the UPSC loves questions about, plants and people, food science, all that, how traditional stuff connects with modern research.
Right. Don't underestimate the power of, ancient wisdom. Okay, last news item for this segment. Let's talk about knowledge sharing and, well, good governance. Have you heard about this Amrit Gyaan Kosh portal?
Oh, yeah, I have. Great initiative. Basically, it's a collection of the best ways to do governance and implement policies developed by the Capacity Building Commission and Karmayogi Bharat.
Like a giant online library of, governance wisdom.
Exactly. Tons of info. And it aligns with, get this, 15 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
Wow, that's a lot.
You'll find case studies, success stories, all sorts of insights from experts, from different fields.
So it's not just theory, it's real-world examples. I can definitely see why it's relevant for prelims. E-governance, capacity building, the roles of different institutions, it's all key for those polity and governance questions.
Absolutely. It shows how India is using technology to make governance better and more transparent. You should definitely check it out.
Okay, adding that to my to-do list right now. Man, what a ride. I mean, from women in villages to space, even bamboo shoots, this deep dive has been, well, awesome.
It is pretty cool how all these, seemingly random news stories actually link back to those big themes the UPSC loves to test. Polity, governance, science and tech, social welfare, international relations. You got to keep up with current affairs, right?
And it's not just about memorizing stuff. It's
Yeah.
about, getting the why. Why is this happening? And making those connections, building those thinking muscles that'll help you ace the exam.
Absolutely. They want thinkers, not just, parrots. They want people who can apply what they know to the real world.
So to all our future officers out there, keep those news alerts on, stay organized, and keep practicing those mock tests. And hey, don't forget to check out resources like that Amrit Gyaan Kosh portal, right? All that good governance wisdom.
It's all about putting in the effort and being smart about it. And hey, if these deep dives are helping you, hit that like button and subscribe. More UPSC goodness coming your way. We're here to help you on that journey, to becoming a leader of India.
Before we go, here's something to think about. We talked about how that Tripura bamboo shoot, Melye-amiley, it might help fight obesity. But how can we use traditional knowledge like that with modern science, to solve those big health challenges? It's a big question. Maybe the UPSC will even ask about it.
Definitely worth thinking about. So do your research, make the connections, and come up with your own ideas. Until next time, happy studying. Good luck with those prelims.